Okay, today we are talking about the big bad Beetleborgs. Oh yeah, that theme music still hit. But since the Quantum Ranger video is taking a little longer, I went with y'all's second option y'all picked that y'all blew my expectations on. Which, hey, it gave me excuse to watch a show that I haven't seen in ages. But I will let you know now, it is a bit of an acid trip. So we start this off with two kids running for their life out of a haunted mansion. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this off rip, Scooby-Doo really did ruin a generation of Caucasian kids. Like, what is the outcome you're expecting, huh? Did you go in there to solve a mystery? Were you hoping to see a ghost or a monster and die? Oh, and to top it off, they're both rich kids that brought their butler to babysit them. Now, you could tell boy clocked in for just a paycheck. He didn't even care about these kids' lives one bit. You allowing this, my man? But we'll come back to this house later. For now, let's go and meet our main trio of protagonists. That being Drew, his little sister Joe, and Roland, whose family owns the comic shop, and whose grandma is a biker and also the rapping granny from America's Got Talent?
All the bitches across my knee and get the spank and ask me no questions. You know what time it is, limbs on the cut. Now tell me how divine it is. Step back, you ain't, go hit the sack, get off the crack. Knowledge you like, I've got the neck. Sharp as a
Okay, Granny spitting, I ain't gonna lie to you. And they're here to pick up the brand new issue of Big Bad Beetleborgs, which is a comic in this universe, which I like is a nice touch. And the comic cover still look clean to this day, I must say. And I really like how they captured the childlike wonder of reading a comic book, even something I do today where you kind of imagine in the pages moving in your head. It's kind of like what I do with this new app that I got called Polybuzz, which also happens to be the sponsor of today's video. It's pretty much an AI chatbot playground with over 2 million characters with their own wild scenarios and personalities. I even ended up in a Power Rangers group chat where I had to pretend to be the Green Deer Ranger and had to convince the others to let me join. I even chatted up the Red Dino Ranger and asked him what he thought about the Beetleborg. He straight up told me,
I heard of those Beetleborgs. They were before my time, but I heard they had some cool moves.
but if you ever wanted to chat, roleplay, or just clown around with your favorite characters, grab Polybuzz. And you know I'm gonna hook you up. If you use my code SHAMANK in the search bar, it will get you discounts and help you unlock bonus perks. But if you want to try it yourself, I got the link to Polybuzz in the description down below. Big shout out to Polybuzz for sponsoring this video. Now back to the Beetleborg. But while Joe and Roland are checking out the comic, Drew over here trying to rizz up the hut. And hold up, time out. Why is there a 10-year-old girl behind the cash register? Her family don't own the place. We already established this is Roland's people. I'm pretty sure there's child labor laws around this type of stuff. Bro, I can't even cut them slack by saying it was the 90s, it was a different time. Like, nah, fam. He done had these things in place since the 1930s, my boy. Discarding the child labors, those two rich kids come back and oh boy, you could really tell they're supposed to be the bulk and skull of this franchise and really fill in that school bully archetype.
I just got promoted to president of the chess club.
Bro, what did he just say?
President of the chess club.
No, wait. I know this bully did not say that with a straight face. Nah, this boy favorite piece gotta be the knight because he really took a L with this one. You get it? Because the knight piece moving an L shape. Okay. You know how to represent for my chess enthusiasts out there. But school bullies doing what they do best, actually peer pressure our trio go into the house. And you know this had to be before Dare because these boys didn't even try to push back. They just showed up. And is that the butler again? Okay, bro. One time is already crazy. My man, you an adult and you about to witness 5 kids break a entering? Nah, boy gotta be up to something. He a bad role model. He must be the real villain of the show. So the kids break into the house and they start exploring and looking around. But in this, Joe ends up being the first one to see a monster, that being a talking mummy. And her first reaction to seeing a real life talking mummy monster in front of her is, nah, parents, you gotta done teach your kids some survival skills. I would have already been out the door. But now, Joe just standing there watching this man slowly unwrapping himself and turning into the Grim Reaper. And hold up. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my tinfoil hat on and start critiquing this a little bit because this is a bit of a production error because how did a mummy then turn into a Grim Reaper? Boy, it's missing eyes that he had done switch sides. Man unwrapped and gained clothes. They weren't probably expecting a grown grown men to come back and critique the show, but that's where you didn't have 2025 vision. Cause I done watched this dude go from a mummy to the spirit Halloween mascot in 2.5 seconds. Speaking about Halloween costumes, I feel like that's where they got the designs for a lot of the monsters in the mansion. I mean, we got off-brand mummy, dollar store Dracula, definitely borrowed from Teen Wolf, and Frankenbeans, which actually I don't got nothing for Frankenbeans. I actually like them, especially if you just try not to notice the big gaping mouth hole.
Oh no! Brain power!
But the monsters start chasing and scaring the kids all up and down the house and even scare out the rich kid. Which to say, the butler, the only adult in this situation, decides to take his 2 kids away and leave the other 3 kids to thus die or something. But eventually, our 3 heroes stumble upon a room with a huge organ that is possessed by the 3 good fairies from the Disney movie. Bro, there is so much going on in this TV show. And it's only about to get wilder as we get introduced to the Zordon, quote unquote, of the Beetleborgs, that being Flapper. And I know his name's not a slur or innuendo, but it still feels wrong to say. But Flapper is a ghostly phantasm that grants wishes. He's like a combo of the genie from Aladdin and Elvis Presley.
Down, girl. You're cramping my stuff.
Oh, he told them to pipe down because they're pipes on an organ. That's actually pretty clever. But the kids and me are pretty much over this haunted house. But in Flabber's attempt to get the kids' attention and not let them leave, he decides to pull a move straight out of the Pennywise handbook.
I'm out. You think I'm not watching this. Look!
Oh, hell no. Oh, nah, bro. I'm just saying, if you wanted me to stick around, that was the fastest way to make me leave. Nah, even Roland knew that was out of pocket because boy straight up fainted. I just know somebody in the production team fought tooth and nail to get that scene done. Like, nah, I know we on a shoestring budget, but this scene, it will be cinema. I hope that man got fired. But once the kids come to, Flabber offers to grant them 1 wish. And Roland and Joe, probably being the 2 rational ones in this situation, are like, nah, I'm good. Oh, but Drew ain't never heard of the term stranger danger. They did not teach this boy the story of the monkey paw in school. Man looked at Flabber like, you saying I could get anyway? And now Flabber irresponsible for even giving them the choice. Boy, if you let 10-year-old me make a wish from a genie, I'd probably ask for something stupid. I'd probably do more harm than good by accident. But you know what the kids are gonna wish for. It's the premise of the show. But I'm just saying too, if I had to make a wish of being any superhero of comic book origins, I mean, Superman and Spider-Man are right there. I would pick to be a long list of other characters before I pick the Beetleborgs. I'm just keeping it above. Oh, and before y'all say, oh, well, Shaman, maybe Superman and Spider-Man are not part of this universe. Spider-Man makes a cameo in the show. He's real. And if you're telling me Spider-Man's there, I know Superman's there too. I'm just saying, you had options. I don't know how they got that cameo, but they did it. But of course, the kids wish to become the big bad Beetleborgs. Oh yeah, time to see that transformation. And hold up, to be continued.
Please stop this madness.
Hold up. You telling me in the first episode of the Big Bad Beetleborgs, we don't even see them become Beetleborgs? Who made this decision? Was it the neck guy?
Boss.
Bro, even the Power Rangers morphed halfway through the episode 1 and got into a Megazord fight by the end. Nah, y'all didn't want to succeed. Oh, this episode is titled Part 1, so hopefully in Part 2, we'll get to see what happened. Let's continue. All right, episode 2 starts off right where it happens, being like, all right, bro, let's go ahead and start getting these toy sales underway. We gotta start making a profit. Oh, and you could tell Flabber's already one of them annoying genies because they done handed him the comic book that says the Big Bad Beetleborgs, and this man looks at the bottom right of the comic, the smallest picture in frame, and was like, oh, so you want me to turn you into the 3 Ratsketeers? No. Oh, nah, if I done made a wish from a genie and he turned me into Randall, I would be pissed.
Bring it on!
But after Flabber was done messing around, we finally get to see the Beetleborg transformation. And I had to say, I really still do like this transformation. I think it was a really cool touch of doing the drawing into live action for him. It's actually pretty cool, and I think it still holds up today. It's just a really neat concept. But Flabber, being a clown, also accidentally releases the villains from the comic book as well. Oh snap, he really is a monkey's paw. That's what you get for playing too much, dummy. Good thing they probably didn't didn't become Superman because they would have wished Doomsday and Brainiac to come out too. Anyways, the villains being brought into the three-dimensional world to start to wreak havoc immediately. And why does one of them sound like Joe Pesci?
Okay, that was fun, but now let's blow up something really big.
I don't know. I really don't. Everything stopped making sense to me as soon as the next scene happened. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Pause! What is that?
But like I said, the villains start wreaking havoc all over the place and even wind up in a movie theater for some reason, right next to Nardwark with a very out-of-date mustache even for the time. Oh, and you could tell these boys were ahead of their time. They was real menaces because they were in the theater and yelled, "Chicken jockey!" Had the theater wanting to get on TikTok. They even make their way to a cemetery to meet their leader who already has a lair set up for them. These boys were quick and they knew what they had to do and go beat the Beetleborgs so they could not trap them back in the comic book. So our three trio knew what they had to do and try to defeat these monsters. And Drew, in the most perfectly timed thing, says,
You never know, we could be walking right into a trap.
I mean, the jokes just write themselves. But oh yeah, it's time for the kids to put these powers to the test. Drew went for the chandelier kick right into a monster's face, avoided the two guy monsters and went for the one with the cooties. Cut over to Joe, who's fighting the Joe Pesci monster, started dodging, hit the pose to the camera, flexing. Man tried to get her, she done ducked over it again, hit the pose once more. Man said to her,
Me funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
"See, I told you he sound like Joe Pesci." But bro, Joe does the most disrespectful ish and started spinning man on her finger. She the LeBron James of the Beetleborgs. Oh yeah, let's cut over to Roland. I know he gotta be cooking up something, right? Okay, Roland, that's very anticlimactic. But the kids win, defeating the monsters and starting on their Beetleborg journey. Oh, and they also learn that even outside of their Beetleborg forms that they have powers. But I have to say, it was fun going down memory lane watching the big bad Beetleborgs again. Really made me feel like a 90s kid. But I really want to make a video like we usually do, so I decided, hey, for Halloween, how about we cover the Shadowborg movie? Because it had a little more things that I can kind of go into and some action scenes. Because the episodes of Beetleborgs kind of don't got much to talk about too much. It's really all focused on the kids and the monsters in the house and some monster of the week. So not much to play around with in our traditional videos, but I think this movie will make up for it. So you can expect that for our Halloween specials. But until then, what's poppin'? It's Shaman and the Beetleborgs.